The Couch Bros get a license to pod as they break down Casino Royale, the gritty reboot that introduced Daniel Craig's James Bond. Russ and Adam dive into the film's brutal action, high-stakes poker, iconic set pieces, and how it reshaped 007 for a new era.
The assignment.
A high-stakes poker game at Casino Royale.
The threat.
If you lose, will that directly finance terrorism?
The man.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
On November 17th.
Who is it?
007. You're going to have to trust me on this.
The wait is over.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
Bond is back.
That last hand nearly killed me.
Casino Royale. Rated PG-13.
Hello and welcome back to an all-new episode of the Couch Brotato Podcast. My name is Russ, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Mr. Adam Lincourt. Adam, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty great. I think this is the first time that we've gotten together after recording the last one. This is the first time we've done it rather quickly. This is unprecedented.
We're on a heater, man. We got 5 days, if even that. We even had really bad snowstorm that hit the area. I was afraid the power would go out. None of that happened, knock on wood. And we're recording tonight. It's 9:45ish Eastern on a Tuesday evening. And we're actually in the process of coordinating a second episode for the week.
Yeah.
Man,
That's crazy.
Things are starting to come together for the Couch Brotato Podcast. 2026 is shaping up to be our year, I think.
I think so. And not only are we recording within the same week, we're actually sticking to our guns and sticking with the theme.
Yeah, it's the second episode in James Bond month. We're going back to the year 2006. We're talking about Daniel Craig's introduction as James Bond. We're doing Casino Royale. I know we were going back and forth on this. I know originally we had discussed Skyfall, which we both agree is the best of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. But for me, I think this one's a very, very close second. You texted me last night, and you're not as big of a fan of this as I am, but you still enjoyed it.
It is still good, yes.
Yeah, you're not like Mark, who shit all over Midnight Run in the critically derided Midnight Run episode, which you can listen to on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Cheap plug of the show, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
See, we're on a roll.
Yeah, I mean,
it's done. 2026 is our year.
Yeah, when we don't have like a month and a half between recording episodes, man, we're sharp like a tack.
Yeah.
But I decided Casino Royale. I think it's a very interesting time period for James Bond. We're coming off of a lackluster run from Pierce Brosnan. He started out great with GoldenEye, which we also did just last week. You can also listen to that on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Got 2 of them in less than 5 minutes.
Nice.
But after GoldenEye, the wheels slowly start coming off for him, and at this point too, he's been James Bond's kind of been surpassed in the movie Spy Game. We have, I believe, Jason Bourne. The Bourne movies have come out, at least the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So we've had that. Mission Impossible is kind of an established franchise. And the parody of James Bond, Austin Powers, I think we're just a few years removed from Goldmember. So James Bond's kind of been satired, and he's been surpassed. So they kind of do this hard reboot. They try to make him a little bit more grounded, a little bit of a grittier take on the character. So I wanted to get your thoughts. What made you think that they decided to go this route instead? Do you think it was because they seen that the landscape is changing, or you just think the character needed a refresh, or what was your take on that?
So I think they thought the landscape was changing, and I actually touch on it a bit in my my facts for the episode. I think that one of the big reasons they changed the tone of Bond is because of the movies that are coming out. I feel like we got a lot of grounded takes on some fantastical things, especially in the action genre of movies during this time period. Batman, for example, became more grounded during this time. I know it's not a spy movie, but I feel like Hollywood had this era of, wait a second, what if we made this more realistic kind of thing? More realistic, dark, gritty, that kind of tone. It kind of mimics the tone of movies before Star Wars came out in 1977, because Star Wars, I feel like, reignited that magical, fantastical kind of feeling in movies. Mm-hmm. And now we're on that downward hill here in the early 2000s, back down towards dark and gritty.
Yeah. I think, Batman kind of started it out, and Batman Begins being fairly successful film. Just it proved that I think audiences at this time are kind of looking for a little bit more realism in their movies. I think a lot of this has to do with Jason Bourne, how well that character was received. I know for a while there, I kind of lost interest in the Bond franchise because of the Bourne movies. Like, well, shit, this guy lost his memory, and now, he's not really relying on gadgets. He's kind of like just a walking weapon, basically.
Yeah.
Just kicks ass. Yeah. Solves mystery, he's trying to solve this mystery of who he is and where he came from. And to me, that was, at that time frame, was much more fascinating than seeing a guy, at this point, Bond is kind of a horn dog. These movies, they had kind of gotten long in the tooth, and they're kind of relying on, okay, what kind of crazy gadget is he going to have? And this one, a shoe that he could turn into a bomb and all this other stuff. And I think Austin Powers too, kind of parodying all that, kind of really made Bond into kind of like a punchline to me, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you have Jason Bourne that can kill a dude with a phone book or a pen. Drives, I don't even know. It's some kind of Volkswagen, right? In the first, in the Bourne Identity. I don't remember the car.
Yeah, I believe it was.
But some crappy, it's like a Volkswagen Rabbit or something like that. Instead of, an Aston Martin. This dude knows how to do things without the fancy gadget. He doesn't need the pen to be a bomb. He can just kill you with the pen. So, right. Yeah, I feel like making the spy movie more grounded and real kind of solidified, I think, in audiences' minds, this is cooler than, some dude that has a shoe bomb or
and I think
a fancy car or
it really saved the franchise too, because I have a feeling that if Bond would have continued on the same path that he was headed towards, I think this would have been one of those franchises they just would have locked in a box for a while and then rebooted it 15 years down the road.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they would have seen diminishing returns if they stuck with Pierce Brosnan formula from the 90s. We talked about how GoldenEye kind of modernized Bond to that point because it was less hokey than some of the older Bond films, but I think that it was leaning really hard into 90s action cheese at the end. And I think that's where they kind of fumbled a little bit.
Yeah, the character nor like the movies really evolved. It just like, okay, we just kind of, brought Bond into the, the late 20th century. Like there's no more like Cold War between the United States and Russia. Okay, fine, but we're still going to keep all the elements that you were getting in the 1960s, the 1970s, and even the 80s. And it just, at that time, it's just kind of like, okay, I've seen this trick before. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And also another thing is the casting of Daniel Craig, I remember, was very controversial at this time because a lot of people have an image of James Bond. I even said in our last episode that I always pictured Pierce Brosnan's, that's how I imagined James Bond looking, was like Pierce Brosnan. When you describe James Bond, it was him. And then I see that this guy who I'd seen in some movies before, like I believe Munich was right before this, which I really, really enjoyed. I remember seeing him in Munich. And, but as James Bond, I'm like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I don't remember when Defiance came out. I think I saw him in Defiance.
I think Defiance was after, I think it was post James Bond because, I know his name was at
you're right.
Above the title.
You are right. Yeah. So then I don't think I saw him in anything before this because I didn't see Munich before I saw Casino Royale. I do remember, and I still think this way. So might be a hot take. I don't know. Come at me in any of the comments on the podcast. But I still don't think Daniel Craig is the perfect James Bond. He isn't even very good looking. I'm not a very good. I am a hetero, and I identify as male, so I'm not a very good judge of who's good looking in the male department. But when it comes down to it, I think that Pierce Brosnan a little bit more good looking than Daniel Craig, and he's supposed to be a ladies' man. So but when going for a more grounded role and a more grounded James Bond, I feel like Daniel Craig kind of pulls that off better than, a pretty, like handsome, suave spy.
I will beg to differ on the looks department because I remember I seen this opening. It was either opening night or opening weekend. And that scene where he comes out of the water, there was a lady just like she was watching this movie at home. She's like, okay. And so, and I've heard a couple of different reactions like that too. But Daniel Craig was in Layer Cake. That's where I first remember seeing him. And then after that, I remember he was in Road to Perdition before that too. So.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan of it. I was kind of curious, like, okay, how's this going to work? And I remember seeing it opening weekend. I'm pretty sure I know it was opening weekend, but I want to say it was opening night, whatever. And it came out of that thoroughly impressed.
I guess the best way to sum up my opinion of Daniel Craig is his acting is superb. Like it fits the
he's a really good
mold of what they're trying to accomplish. As far as the character of James Bond and the way I picture him in my head, kind of like what you said, it just doesn't fit, and it still doesn't fit to this day. Every Bond film that I watch that stars Daniel Craig, I'm like, man, if he just looked like Pierce Brosnan, it would be perfect. But it is what it is. It's just an aesthetic thing. His acting, he brings his A game to the table, and he actually, he's one of the big reasons that the Bond franchise was saved from what was happening to it, I think. So
yeah, and I even think that even some of the lesser titles, like we were discussing this last night, I think the two weakest entries in Craig's collection are Quantum of Solace is the worst one. But I'm also not a fan of Spectre. Yeah. Spectre was a little disappointing considering who the villain is in that. And I remember I have this habit where I don't get too overly excited for movies anymore because I've been let down when I get to that point. And I let myself get there for this one because, like, okay, you've got Christoph Waltz as the villain. I'm not going to spoil what character he plays, but super excited for that. And it turns out it's just like, wasn't bad, but wasn't great either.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's always seemed to, like, even the bad ones, he still seems to kind of bring his A game to him.
I agree.
Oh.
I think that Quantum of Solace I'm there with you. It's definitely one of the weakest ones. I think that Casino Royale and Spectre are kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to watchability. Not gonna shit all over the movie. Still love this movie. Still like all of the Craig movies. So that's not saying something bad about it. But I think that Spectre and this movie that we're doing tonight they're just kind of on the same wavelength of how well I received them.
I definitely am a little bit more favorable towards this one. I actually think this is probably a top 6 or 7 Bond movie in the entire franchise. So,
oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I would put it there. It's on the outside looking in. Of at least my top 5, but I don't know.
But
I don't think it's quite there.
But hey, still a good movie. We both can agree on that.
Still a great movie.
So, yes. How about we get into some of these categories, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. In case you're wondering what in the fuck is Casino Royale about, well, I'm going to tell you. After earning a license to kill, Secret Agent James Bond sets out on his first mission as 007. Bond must defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker at Casino Royale in Montenegro.
Mm-hmm.
A little fun fact for you.
That is what it's about.
Former guest on the show, Mr. Luke Frost, said that one of his aliases was Elias P. Montenegro, and I just find that so funny, and I've used it. I've used it a time or two. It's not quite as it's a little bit more classier than my alias. Me and Jen go by Dick and Kitty Felt. Those are our aliases, and I've even signed that on a wedding keepsake.
Oh man, I can't even imagine going back and looking at those and like, oh, well, yep, that's Russ and Jen.
I'll send you the picture later on. All right, the tail of the tape, Casino Royale is rated PG-13, was released on November the 17th, 2006. Stars Daniel Craig, Ava Green, Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah, it's Mikkelsen.
Yep.
Jeffrey Wright, and Judi Dench. Now, see, like, leave it up to me. I was going to mispronounce somebody's name at some point, and you know what? I'm really disappointed in myself because I know it's Mads Mikkelsen, and I don't know why I decided, like, oh, I'm just going to fuck this up.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the podcast without one name getting butchered at least once by either me or you. Yeah.
This was directed by Martin Campbell, who also did GoldenEye. Second movie he'd done in the franchise. I don't know if he did. Did he do Quantum of Solace?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember who did Quantum of Solace because I know Sam Mendes did Spectre and Skyfall, but whatever. Mm-hmm. I fucked his name up too. The Rotten Tomatoes score 94% from critics and 90% from audiences. The consensus: Casino Royale disposes of the silliness and gadgetry that plagued recent James Bond outings, and Daniel Craig delivers what fans and critics have been waiting for: a caustic, haunted, intense reinvention of 007. A budget of $150 million, grossed $616 million worldwide, making this the fourth highest grossing movie of 2006. Didn't win any awards, and you can currently stream this on Netflix, which they just got the entire Bond catalog on Netflix last week. So you can watch all of them on there.
Yep, last week.
So
every single one.
So after you listen to the
director
show,
was Mark Forrester.
Okay.
Quantum. Yeah.
Okay, and I don't even remember anything that he's done. So
yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if he did Finding Forrester.
Yeah. He did Finding Neverland.
Oh. Not even the same thing.
No.
Did you know these are some fun facts, interesting tidbits about the behind the scenes making of Casino Royale, the production leading up to the movie coming out? Casino Royale is the very first Ian Fleming James Bond novel.
Yes.
Which I did not know that until researching for this movie. This is the second James Bond film entitled Casino Royale. The original was a spy satire released in 1967, starring David Niven and Peter Sellers. But this is
God, it was awful.
Is it bad? I've never seen it. Is it bad?
It was bad. Yeah. It's bad. It's very bad.
I've heard it's not great.
You think? Yeah.
I would think
I wouldn't. Maybe watch some highlights, but never watch the whole movie. You'll waste your time.
I would think with Peter Sellers it would be decent, but
yeah.
Sometimes you strike out. Not everybody's a 1,000 hitter, but Peter Sellers was a high
Right.
400s hitter, so I'll cut him some slack.
Mm-hmm.
This version of Casino Royale is considered non-canon to the Eon Productions films that have Connery and Roger Moore and all those. So,
yeah,
I found this next one super interesting, and it kind of ties into me being a sports fan too. So it's kind of a cool little thing. The rights to Casino Royale were awarded to Eon Productions in 1999, as Sony traded the rights to MGM in exchange for the rights to Spider-Man. That's like
okay.
That's like, LeBron getting traded for like Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very successful deal for MGM, but I think Sony won that trade.
100%. Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan was slated to return for a fifth time as James Bond, but was unable to reach an agreement with producers after asking for a $30 million payday.
Yeah.
Barbara Broccoli said, and I quote, "Nah, dog, we good." And then they decided to cast for new James Bond.
Right.
Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale were offered the role but turned it down. Carl Urban, Clive Owen, Sam Worthington, Michael Fassbender, and Ray Fiennes were all considered for the role. I was actually in the camp, and I think he would have made a fantastic James Bond, but I was always baffled why Clive Owen never got a crack at that role.
That's true.
I always thought Clive Owen would be perfect as James Bond. But
yeah, I agree.
And actually, fun fact, Ray Fiennes ends up joining the Bond franchise as what was his character's name again?
He was
Mallory. He was like,
Mal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like kind of M's boss in Skyfall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Henry Cavill was the only actor besides Daniel Craig that was seriously considered for the role. I guess he had a very tremendous audition, but they decided against casting him because at the time, Henry Cavill was only 22 years old.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty young.
I know Henry Cavill's been tossed around a lot as taking over the role now because Daniel Craig has left the franchise, so they're currently casting, or I don't know if they're looking for a new one, or because I know they kind of spin their wheels on doing that, but we've still got a couple of years to go before we get a new Bond movie.
Yeah,
but
I think if they didn't recast it, it would be kind of confusing for people. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, if they had just had like Bond, but you didn't see him, you'd think like, oh, they gave it to John Cena.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to see that movie now. John Cena as James Bond.
Only if every Bond theme is his theme song from WWE.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's how every movie starts. It doesn't matter what it's called. Angelina Jolie, Naomi Watts, Scarlett Johansson, Sienna Miller, and Charlize Theron were strongly considered for the role of Vesper Lynn. And the last one I got is Quentin Tarantino had expressed interest in directing Casino Royale, with Pierce Brosnan returning and the setting to be in the 1960s. But Eon had no interest in that take, so Tarantino didn't get do a Bond movie. Every few years he seems to pop up and like he just wants to do like a big franchise movie, and then like it just never happens. It was this one, and then a few years later he was rumored to be doing a Star Trek movie, and then that never happened either.
Could you imagine a Tarantino Star Trek movie?
I couldn't imagine a Tarantino Bond movie.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that a little bit more than Star Trek, but geez Louise, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that would have worked. I was very interested in that though. When he said that he was interested in doing a Star Trek movie, I'm like, okay, I would be in for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of would want to see that movie just out of sheer curiosity.
But Tarantino's also one of those guys too that like he has a movie that comes out, I'm already there. Like, okay, we're going. So it doesn't really matter what he does, but like, yeah, Star Trek, like, okay, I'd kind of like to see his take on this. But yeah, those are all the fun facts I've got. Is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I've got a few here. Number one, the way that Bond orders his first vodka martini is actually lifted directly from the Ian Fleming novels, word for word. So the way that he orders this is more book accurate than any of the other films. And when he requests the martini containing a half measure of Kina Lillet, Kina Lillet was actually discontinued in 1986 and replaced with the considerably sweeter Lillet Blanc. So he asked for something that didn't exist at the time. But it makes sense if it was lifted directly from the novels that it would be something that was a little bit older.
Have you ever had a martini?
I have had one martini in my entire life. It is not my favorite drink.
Yeah. I ordered, when I was 19 or 20, me and some friends went up to Windsor, Canada, which basically is like Vegas. If you are 18 years old, you can do anything in Windsor. And I was at a casino and I ordered a martini, and I ordered it shaken, not stirred. And the waiter looked at me like I was a fucking idiot.
He probably was like, this guy wants to be James Bond.
Yeah.
He knew what you were doing. Obviously, he had to.
Yeah, he knew like this guy's never had a martini before. And I had, and like it was fucking awful. I don't have I'm sure it's a very sophisticated drink for sophisticated palates, but I do not have a sophisticated palate, so not my jam.
I like some sophisticated things. The best part about a martini is the olives, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
I didn't even get that.
Um,
He just brought out in that fucking glass. I'm like, this is a fucking chip.
yeah. Let's see here. So Daniel Craig is the first actor in the series to play James Bond, who is younger than the series itself. So, and the product placement in this movie was deliberately scaled back following the criticism leveled at Die Another Day, which earned itself the nickname Buy Another Day.
Yeah, I think
Apparently there was a lot of product placement. I don't remember, but apparently there was a lot of product placement.
Yeah, I think the final straw was when Pierce Brosnan and Halle Berry's characters were eating at McDonald's. Like, okay, this is a bit much.
Like you said earlier, Pierce Brosnan was initially asked back. This is actually where my fact kind of diverges from yours, though. After seeing The Bourne Identity and other contemporary spy movies raise the bar on realism and physicality, in addition to Pierce's agent demanding $30 million, the producers decided to recast Bond and change the tone of the film. So it was directly correlated to The Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
It's just raising the bar. Yeah.
I did see a story yesterday. I don't remember what it was from. It might have been Variety. Not 100% sure. Just don't quote me on the source, but I seen something where Pierce Brosnan has actually expressed interest in coming back to play James Bond one last time as like a much older version of the spy.
I wouldn't hate it. It would have to be a decent movie, though. It can't be. Pierce Brosnan has some meh Bond movies, which we've discussed before.
Yeah. I think for me, I just wouldn't want to see that because like we've been there and done that. And it would be kind of cool to like, nostalgia is a very hypnotic drug, but
it is.
For me, it would just be one of those things where like, hey man, just, you had a run. Let's just call it. Plus like you're making a Bond movie and trying to cast after replacing Daniel Craig. And then you just got to go right back to doing that to begin with. And as we discussed, that's why Timothy Dalton didn't get to do GoldenEye, because he wanted to come back and do one. And since there was such that long gap in between, it was like, well, we need you to do more than one. So he passed on it. So just cast it. Let the guy have his run. Did they do that for Connery, though? Connery, I can't remember what the Bond movie is, but it came out in like the 80s where he comes back as an older James Bond, and it's not considered canon in the franchise either. What was that called? Was that Diamonds?
I don't remember. Diamonds are forever?
I think that was what it is. Let me take a look here. But yeah, I remember he came back, and it's not considered canon. Let's see.
Diamonds Are Forever was 71.
Oh, it's Never Say Never Again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it came out.
I feel like that's a parody title in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it came out the same year as Octopussy, and it was directed by Irwin Kershner, who did Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's considered non-canon, so. Yeah, we've done that. We've also done that too, so we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely good. In addition to my few facts here, I have a couple of goofs, like I always do. First one isn't really a goof. I feel like it's a creative choice. But during the showdown of the final hand of the poker game, the players reveal their whole cards, starting with the Japanese player and ending with Bond. In actual poker, this is not correct. The player who needs to show his hand first is going to be the person that made the last aggressive move. So in this case, Bond pushed all in, so the dealer didn't enforce the rule. And yeah.
That's probably why I got that big tip at the end.
Yeah, probably. Pretty sure that was made for dramatic. That change was made for dramatic emphasis.
Oh yeah,
because you want the titular character to have the cool hand at the end. But on the yacht where James is writing his resignation letter to M, he actually finishes the email sincerely, which is very American. In Great Britain, it would be yours sincerely. And, British military would say, I remain your most humble and obedient servant. But since it was a resignation letter, he probably would have just said yours sincerely. But they also Americanized a few other small things. Like he said she left her cell phone. In Britain, it would be her mobile phone. So
just like the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
She left her mobile.
I feel like that was made for American audience's sake.
Oh, I'm sure.
And when the last goof that I have isn't necessarily a goof, it's a complaint that I have. And I feel like maybe it was a character choice based on how he felt about her at the moment. But when he's giving CPR to Vesper at the end, he just quickly gives up. You're supposed to keep at it. And he also is not doing CPR correctly. I think a British spy would know how to do CPR correctly.
Well, maybe he doesn't because his primary job is to kill. He doesn't have to do it.
That's true. And like I said, maybe it's a choice by the character not to care because of how he felt to her in that moment.
Well, actually, I think that he does, actually.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know why he gave up either. Just like, yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, he should have kept at it until paramedics arrived.
It's like, God damn it, why isn't this not working?
At least he didn't like break out that defibrillator again. I feel like movies do that way too often. It's like you don't shock somebody whose heart is stopped immediately. You do chest compressions, but anyways, I'm splitting hairs at this moment, so we can move on.
All right. The Martin Scorsese This Is Cinema Award for the best scene in the movie. I've got a few, like, I really like the poker scene. Well, it's kind of split into two, but pretty much the whole poker game I really, really enjoy. I do like poker in movies. I also like the title card sequence. I've always been a fan of these in the Bond movies, but I especially like this one. Just the way it's done with like the playing cards and like kind of Daniel Craig kind of cutting in and out from like it just being like a silhouette to like you actually get him in it. And plus that song is I think an underrated Bond song. We'll get into that later. But my favorite scene in the movie is the parkour chase sequence.
Hey, you and I are on the same wavelength with these movies.
That sequence is fucking incredible.
I actually have that written down as the chase sequence into the shootout at the embassy. Like that's exactly what I had written down. So that whole sequence is great.
Yeah, I think isn't this around the time where like parkour's really become a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But man, that guy's super awesome. And then I don't know, like a fight in a construction zone, like
especially at the top of that like steel frame when they're like all the way up at the top on that steel beam.
I don't know,
like,
anytime I
really
see anybody fighting on like high, like apparatuses like that, it always makes me nervous. Like what?
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't make me think of the character; it makes me think of the actual two actors involved. Like, man, what if one of them fell?
Well, you know that like they're probably not. They're probably like 2 feet off the ground. Then they probably. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't seen many back to or like behind the scenes things of this movie, but
That scene is so harrowing that Daniel Craig's hair gets longer while he's up there fighting in the long shots, and then like it gets it shortens back up when you get up close.
That's great.
It's not quite as blatant as Terminator 2 when like Arnold picks up Edward Furlong off like the dirt bike, and you could that definitely is not Arnold Schwarzenegger on that motorcycle, but like I was watching it yesterday and like, yep, that's fucking stunt double.
Yeah.
But still, like not taking any shine away from the scene. No, that scene's amazing. I don't know why they don't do more stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite scene in the movie. And like actually all the Craig Bond movies have a really incredible like early like action set piece in all of them.
Yeah, they do.
I think they're some of the best in the actual franchise, just like his movies. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact that like, movie making is such more advanced than it was back in the 60s and 70s, but still though.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the action sequences in these movies, it being more realistic and grounded, there's obviously going to be some computer generated imagery in these movies, but
well, actually, I heard that I read in the research. I didn't think it was super pertinent, but now that you bring it up, they didn't really do a lot of like CGI stuff. This is our style, more like there's stunts. I mean, they use some, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. I was gonna say they probably like touched it up with some stuff, but from what I understand, like a lot of this stuff was practical. So, although they don't hold a candle, and of course, we're not talking about Bourne, but Bourne didn't use any CG for any of their explosions or anything like that. So they had to, compete with Jason Bourne at the time. So.
They weren't even acting that movie. Matt Damon actually killed people in that movie, and they just they just wrote it off.
Matt Damon was actually Jason Bourne. They just had the camera and were filming the entire time.
Yeah, it's a documentary. Like, man, like Matt Damon got this horrible accident. And he lost his memory. He just started fucking killing people, thinking he was a secret agent. Amazing stuff.
And then the director was like, "Hey," the director grabbed a couple of cameramen and was like, "Hey, start filming." And then that's how he got the movie.
It's kind of like what the Blair Witch Project strived to be. Like. Eventually, like the cat got out of the bag that this was like an actual movie that they made. Like, nope, Bourne Identity is an actual thing. They just couldn't call it like Matt Damon killing people for an hour and 50 minutes. They had to give it an actual title. Did you have any honorable mentions?
I did not have any honorable mentions. I liked the poker scenes. I felt like, the strongest point of the poker scenes wasn't necessarily the poker, just because movies always get some poker rules wrong. But it was the looks between Lashif and Bond, like the tension that was building between them as they were playing. You don't really pay attention to the other characters as much, which is it's a testament to how good both of those actors are playing the scene. So
yeah, Mads Mikkelsen's like really good. That was my introduction to him too. I know he was like a fairly big Danish actor coming into this, and then subsequently he's been in a Star Wars movie. He played Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal TV show, which hot take is my favorite interpretation of that character is the Hannibal TV show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I as much as I love The Silence of the Lambs, I hate to say this, but Anthony Hopkins, I kind of feel the bad ones stuck out with me more. It's like the Hannibal Lecter franchise. There's one great movie, and then the rest of them are fucking junk. I don't. Well, let me rephrase that. Like in the Hopkins Hannibal Lecter saga, like Manhunter is fantastic, but that's got Brian Cox's Hannibal Lecter. But all the stuff that Hopkins did, it was Silence of the Lambs, and it's like a pretty steep drop. But man, did you ever watch the Hannibal television show?
I never watched the Hannibal television show.
Yeah, it's amazing. It got canceled way too soon, but Mads Mikkelsen's fantastic in that.
He's also a really good Marvel villain.
He's in Doctor Strange, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like now he's making franchise movies. Plus, he just seems like a generally cool dude to hang out with.
Yeah.
The Andy Dufresne Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying award for the most quotable line of the movie. Now, we have to preface this. We didn't make this last week, but it can't be James Bond. It can't be that.
But it is, though.
I know.
That's what I wrote down.
I know, but that's way too easy. All right, come up with another one besides that. If I could say it, I would say how he orders the martini, because it's
that's cool. Yeah. I also like when Bond tells him the world's gonna know that you died itching my balls. That one's good. But I think that the James Bond works for this movie because it's like the last line of the movie, and he has the gun, and then it goes into the Bond theme. It's really a great moment, and
I'll give you that. That's
I stand by it.
That is a fucking killer last 5 minutes of any movie. Is when he like Mr. White's driving in, and like I was like, how the like that's it?
Yeah,
he's gonna have him, and then like he just caps him in the knee, and then like walks up, dressed to the fucking nines in that tailored suit, holding the gun, looking super fucking cool. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one for the reason that you used it for. We should have just named this title like did he deliver this as like the James Bond in a cool way or something like that? So the most quotable line in the movie.
I know that I really like our title for this category. Get busy living, get busy dying, but man, does it work for Bond too. James Bond award for the best or most quotable line of the movie.
Yeah.
It's quotable.
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially if your last name is Bond. I mean, I would totally. And if my name was Bond, I probably would have named my son James too, just for that reason. I would have saddled that poor kid for life for that name. But he didn't. So yeah, we're going with just the delivery at the end of the quotable line.
The delivery at the end was great.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that one. I'm cool with that because I mean, this particular movie, the next one will be 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of hard to trump anything besides that. So, this next one, I had a little bit of trouble with the McLovin Award for the most.
I am McLovin.
Thank you, sir. I was getting ready to cue that up myself. For the best or scene-stealing performance. Did you have a candidate?
I did, and I think it counts, even though it's pretty much kind of you get James Bond, you get this character, but I think Judi Dench deserves the McLovin for this movie.
Okay.
It does not have a lot of screen time, but man, does she command a presence on screen when she's there. So I decided to give this award to her.
Yeah, she's she's pretty awesome, and I think she's probably, I could probably catch some heat for this, but I think she's the best supporting character in the franchise. It's her interpretation.
I don't think you would catch a lot of heat for that. I think
it could be the fact that she's probably one of our great screen actors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, she holds her own, but she also doesn't take any shine away from Daniel Craig, which is a tribute to him too. He's actually like, that's like you're in the ring with Muhammad Ali right now, and you're doing okay.
Yeah, they go toe to toe when they're in the room together. Like, she doesn't take any guff from him, and he ends up, respectfully doing what she wants, for the most part. So sometimes he, goes off the edge a little bit, but she reels him back in. It's fine.
I had seen Casino Royale in a while, and I almost gave it to Mads Mikkelsen because he's not in the movie a lot until towards the end.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I took him off. Judi Dench is really good. I would probably give it to her just because she's just such a standout performer in this. Maybe give a little bit of shine to Jeffrey Wright. I always like the Felix Leiter character. Jeffrey Wright's always like, he's probably one of the steadiest hands in Hollywood. He's always good in just about anything you give him, whether it's bad or good.
Right.
Jeffrey Wright's always solid. Plus, I just like how he kind of, like the scene where he's telling Bonnie he's going to stake him, his buy-in. And it seems like he's really sincere. Like, he just wants to bring Lashif down. And then at the end, he kind of like, but we get to bring him in.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now the intentions are clear. Like, you're paying to bring him in. Okay. But yeah, I just thought that's kind of a cool little nod. But I'm totally cool giving it to Judi Dench, though.
Okay.
So yeah, Dame Judi Dench, please reach out to the Couch Brotato Podcast at couchbrotatopodcast@gmail.com. Give us your mailing address. We will send you a edible arrangement and an award for the McLovin. It's going to be printed on a piece of paper, but it's still an award. You can add it to your many trophies in your home. The Dean Winters Who's That Guy /Girl Award for the performer that you've seen in a movie, but you don't know who they are. I've got two. I don't know if you got anybody.
I do have someone, and maybe I'll catch some heat for this, but I picked this person because this is probably the first movie that I've seen them in. After the fact, though, I've seen them in way more. I just hadn't realized it. But I picked Ava Green as Vesper.
See, like,
there
Ava
was
Green,
a whole bunch of. Yeah, she's probably more popular than I'm aware of, but I didn't know that. Like, we used to work at a big box store with a whole bunch of DVDs.
We worked
One
at
of the
Best Buy.
movies
We're done. We're past it now. We worked at Best Buy.
We worked at the Big Blue, and we I had like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children like on the shelf forever, past her face every day, and did not realize she was Miss Peregrine.
Yeah, she's also in she's in the 300 sequel.
Which I never saw.
Not very good. I actually went and seen that in a movie theater too. I think me and Jen were just looking for something to do, so we decided to go see it. And like, yeah, neither one of us cared for that one. She's in the Sin City sequel, which is also very bad.
I never saw.
former co-host Lucas, actually, I think to this day still describes that as his worst movie-going experience he's ever had. And both of us just didn't care for that one at all either. But yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff, so I don't know if I can give it to her because she's...
Now, she has been in a bunch of stuff, but the point of the category is I didn't realize that was them. So,
well, I think the category, I've always interpreted this category as like a person you've seen a bunch of stuff, but like, man, what's their name?
Yeah, see, and
see, I think people
I would
go ahead.
I would describe her as Vesper. I wouldn't be like, oh, it's Ava Green. I'd be like, oh, that's Vesper. Like, now I know that she's Miss Peregrine too, and she's in Dumbo and Euphoria. Like, I looked at her IMDb, I was like, yeah, I've seen her all over the place, but I never actually like paid attention to what her name was.
Euphoria, the HBO television show.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
She's in that. Makes
she's
sense.
In that. Yes.
She does. She has been featured nude in some of her movies, so that makes perfect sense. She's in that. I know for me, I had two people, not as well renowned as Ava Green, but I had Tobias Menzies. He plays Villiers. He played Prince Philip in the television show The Crown. Okay. But he is prominently featured in one of my favorite movies of 2025. He plays the slimy like partner of Javier Bardem in F1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You still haven't seen that yet?
I have not seen that. No, not yet. On the list. Just haven't had time to watch it.
Definitely worth watching. And then I also had, as one of the poker players, his name is Ade. ADE. Ade is the bigger gentleman sitting at the table, but he appeared as Tyrone in Snatch. He's the getaway driver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Now see, that guy fits into your version of this category, because every time I see that dude something, I go, that's fucking Tyrone. And I remember
yeah.
I forget who says it in Snatch, but I go, Tyrone, you fat bastard.
See, I'm willing to give it to him though, because you're right. That's exactly what I would say.
Yeah. All right, Ade. And it's ADE is that guy's name. So yeah, we'll give it to him.
Okay.
The most 2006 moment of the movie. I had the Sony Ericsson telephones that they use in this. If this were made 2025, they would be using, I would guess, probably iPhones.
Yeah, probably. I think that the most 2006 thing in this movie was using Texas Hold'em poker instead of baccarat. So.
Oh yeah, because I know this was during the big poker craze of the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was Texas Hold'em poker too. That was the poker everybody wanted to watch. Nobody cared about 5-card draw. Blackjack, it was always Texas Hold'em. And of course, in the Ian Fleming novel, it was baccarat, not Texas Hold'em.
Okay, I could give it to that. Although I am no like awesome card player by any stretch of means, but I was a big Texas Hold'em poker player as well for a while. I haven't played in quite a long time, but
yeah. I played during the craze. I was never good, and I always lost a bunch of money. Of course, it was pennies compared to like I had like a tenner on me, and we would bet with like money like that. So it wasn't like
actually
millions of dollars.
Steven, friend of the show, who may or may not be on our next episode. He used to have us, we always used to go down to his house and play poker. Like it was like every other Saturday. There's a guy we used to play with.
Yeah.
That the dumbest fucking poker player I've ever played with my entire life. And he would, it's so frustrating that you just like, I don't even want to fucking play this ever again if I have to play with someone like this. He would play like 3 hands and then just bet he'd put all of his fucking money in and have like a fucking a 2, a 7, a king, like a 3, and like just a shitty hand that had no business even being played. And he would always like he'd always bet that. And it's like, dude, like that's so fucking stupid, man. Take a little bit of pride in playing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like
if you're pushing all in, odds are like you're one of 2 poker players. You're pushing all in. You're doing it because you have confidence in your hand. You have a very good poker face, and everybody else has probably folded at that point, and you're playing against one other person. And then the second person is, I'm going to bet all in because I have a shitty hand. I'm going to try and make everybody think it's great. And you do it at the beginning of the hand, and those players are just bad.
Well, that would be the thing, though. It's like you try to work your way up to that, knowing that you've got a crappy hand. Like you're hoping that like by betting big that you're trying to like, okay, I'm eventually going to get this dude to fold. But then he's like staying in the game. It's like, okay, last chance to bluff my way out of this is go all in. Then like he for sure is going to give up. And then like, and that's how he'd always do it. Except he'd always like bet everything like before you even got to the third. If I'm not mistaken, the third card's the river.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Is like he didn't work his way up to it. No. Nobody else folded, and he was just doing it because he had a shitty hand. Like there was no workup at all. That's those people that try and bluff like that are just awful.
Yeah, and then like sometimes he would like the same game. I remember he would sit there and say like, "Oh, those are a couple nice kings." And I wasn't holding those, but he would always like make a comment like, "Oh, you're like it looks like you're holding kings or something like shit." Like it's like, dude, you're out of the game. Shut the fuck up. And there was a couple of us who were literally going to take him outside, and kick the crap out of him. But then like he just quit playing poker with us, so we didn't have to do anything. He kind of weaseled his way out. But I like that one though. I never really thought about that. But yeah, definitely like the Texas Hold'em aspect in 2006. Definitely, that's very 2006. Yeah,
especially because it was in a country that wasn't American. It was a very American version of poker, and it kind of didn't fit, but it made the movie work, so it's fine.
The Indiana Jones Award for the prop you would most want for your personal collection. What'd you have?
Oh, I said that I would like the suit, the dinner jacket.
The tuxedo.
It's nice.
Very nice.
It's not tailored to me, and it wouldn't fit me, but I'll try my damnedest to get into shape and to fit it.
I chose one of the poker chip cards, not like the chips, but the cards. Like they're worth like $1 million.
Cards, yeah.
I would want one of those.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool if it was actually worth $1 million too.
Yeah, like I cash it in. Like, hey, here I am in Montenegro at the Casino Royale.
If that's the case, I would want 2. I would cash one in, and then I would give one to the person cashing in the first one. Like, just to, be that guy.
I would ask him, like, hey, can you put like a sticker on this? Or even if like they couldn't, like, all right, can I keep it? And can you just put like a sticker on it that says void if redeemed or something like that that says it's I've cashed this in.
Yeah.
I just want the keepsake.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be my pick. Cause I mean, I chose his revolver in the last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the defibrillator in his car would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll still take the poker chip though.
Yeah, poker chip is probably the best one because it's not really obvious what it's from, but like if you had it like sitting out in your living room, it would be a good conversation piece. Like, hey, what's that?
Yeah, if I had like a
let me
shadow
tell you.
box and I had like the Casino Royale poster and I had that like sitting with it, like nice little
Yeah.
keepsake.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And I don't understand it because like back when these movies would come out on Blu-ray, they'd always have. I know Best Buy every Tuesday would have like come in and get the special edition version of Casino Royale, and I don't understand why because I know. I think it was either this or it was for Skyfall, but if you bought it, it came with a collectible Aston Martin, like die-cast car.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was Skyfall.
But yeah, like it'd been cool to get like one of the poker chips.
Yeah. That would be really cool. Or like a deck of cards, even. That would be even cooler.
Yeah. Now watch, I'm going to look that up as soon as we're done and watch. Oh yeah, they did actually have like a James Bond like poker set you got if you bought, Casino Royale, like Suncoast or something. The John Williams Award for Best Use of Music in the Movie. I mean, the obvious winner's got to be the James Bond theme, which they play at the end of it.
Yeah.
But we give a special shout out. I know most rankings have this maybe middle of the pack, but I really dig the Chris Cornell "You Know My Name" theme song. I fucking love that song. It's probably one of my favorite theme songs because it's not like a lot of Bond themes, and like they did it for the next movie too. They didn't really have like a harder rock theme song. It was usually like kind of like a little bit of softer. Like at that point, you would get like maybe Duran Duran or like Wings to the theme song, but nothing like really like on the harder spectrum of music. And then like all of a sudden this one comes on and like you can tell as soon as he starts singing it's Chris Cornell, like one of the best voices in rock music, bar none.
I was going to say he has a very unique voice. You can tell immediately that it's him.
And it really fits with the opening credit sequence. Like it fits perfectly with that. Because sometimes, like with GoldenEye, it doesn't really seem to sync up that well with the like what's going on in the credit sequence. But like this one just even like flows perfectly. Like you can almost picture that song playing with like if there were two people fighting in a movie, you could actually like that would sync up perfectly with the fighting going on. So I don't know. I just really dig that song.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's probably one of my favorites. I do think it's kind of slept on in like Bond theme rankings, but it's good.
It seems like a lot of people tend to really gravitate towards the older, like the Shirley Bassey stuff, which is it's totally fine, totally cool songs, but I don't know. This one's probably one of my favorite ones. So a special shout out to Chris Cornell. Keep one performer, recast the rest with Muppets.
Oh man, this is easy. Lashif, Mads Mikkelsen is going to be the real person, and everyone else is Muppets.
Okay. I don't know when you said that. I just pictured the scene where he's hitting Bond in the balls with what was that like?
With the rope.
Yeah.
Like
and just like just seeing like this puppet.
You just see the Muppet going, ah.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Mouth open.
And plus, like you don't have to worry about pulling off like the bleeding eye duct with a Muppet.
Yeah.
Just like it's perfect. I like that one. I'm gonna go with that one too.
Yeah.
The Rob Gordon top 5. This particular movie, actor, category, etc. Is this top 5? Daniel Craig.
Yes, it's in the top 5. I don't think it's number 1. Skyfall's probably number 1 for me. But it is in there.
I would say yes as well. I normally don't like having like if we're doing like a Hall of Fame or like a top 5, like if an actor plays the same role multiple times, I don't like having like 2 from the same like character. But Casino Royale and Skyfall definitely, I think, make the list for him. They're 2 of his best movies.
Yeah.
Then I think the other 3 would be Knives Out, obviously, because he's turned that into a franchise as well, and I think he's by far the best thing about those Knives Out movies, which I thoroughly enjoy all 3 of those, but he's definitely the best part of them. I had Layer Cake, very underrated gangster movie, which actually got him the role of James Bond. And then Logan Lucky. Really dig that
man, I was hoping you were going to say Logan Lucky. I was really hoping you were going to say Logan Lucky.
It was between that. It was between that and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but I really like Logan Lucky a lot.
Logan Lucky's a better movie in my opinion. I really liked him in Defiance. It would probably that would probably be on my list, but man, Logan Lucky would be on there too. He made that movie for me. And then, although I really liked Adam Driver's character in that movie too, but
and then I'm guessing Knives Out.
Knives Out, yeah. It would be the next one. Skyfall, Casino Royale, Knives Out, Logan Lucky, and Defiance.
Okay. Poker scenes.
Man. Yes. There's a lot of good poker scenes. I really like the scenes. Ocean's 11 had. I don't know why. I just really like the poker scene where he's trying to teach the celebrities how to play poker.
That's on my top 5.
I really like the last scenes in Maverick.
I had the Maverick. Yep, I have the Maverick game. The final game where it's him and Jodie Foster's character and James Coburn and Alfred Molina. That game, that was on my
honorable mention. Yeah, honorable mention. I really like the beginning game too when he's checking out everybody's tells at the very beginning of the movie. But where he promises to lose for the first hour. Let's see. Well, what are some of yours? So just so that
I had the game and the Sting, where Newman and cons his way into the game. Newman had that one. The final game, Teddy KGB and Matt Damon's character in Rounders.
Okay.
I love fucking Rounders, and that's a movie I would like to do at some point. That's one of my favorite Matt Damon movies.
That'd be good.
And then I had this one.
Yeah, this would be in the top 5 for sure. I can't think of 2 more just off the top of my head. But this would definitely be in the top 5 for sure.
I thought I remembered. I hit my mic. I remember I haven't seen it. I have only seen it actually once, and it's criminal. I've only seen it once, but I swear I remember there being a really good poker scene in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't seen Lock, Stock in forever. So
yeah,
but maybe we'll do that one at some point too, just to give me a reason to rewatch it. Franchise reboots. I'd say definitely this goes in the top 5.
Yeah, this franchise has had a roller coaster of a lifespan, and I think that Casino Royale kind of was the chain lift hill of that roller coaster.
Yeah, I
So,
think this feels more
agreed.
like this felt more like a reboot than like previous where they just recast the actor playing it. This felt
Mhm.
more like a reboot. Like this
Yeah.
changed the actor and just the whole vibe of the franchise.
Agreed. Yeah, and they started at the beginning too with the first Ian Fleming novel. So.
Right. I had Casino Royale. I had Batman Begins. I had Mad Max Fury Road, which is a franchise reboot.
Okay.
I had Creed, which is a reboot of the Rocky franchise. And actually, if you think about it, probably in terms of like just a film, I would say it's probably, besides the original Rocky, the best Rocky film in the entire franchise. And then I had the 09 Star Trek.
09 Star Trek for sure would be in mine. I didn't mind. I know some people didn't like the last one, but I didn't mind Ghostbusters Afterlife. That was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't put it as like a top 5 one though.
It's probably outside looking in for me too. I'm just trying to think of some reboots here. I mean, we can count the entire MCU as reboot because every single one of those superheroes had a really trashy movie before it.
Right. Yeah, like I probably should have said this to you earlier, but I originally usually we'll just do like an actor and like maybe the director, but since we're kind of saving some of these categories for our next episode, I kind of held off, so I was kind of reaching for some of these.
All good.
And I literally come up with these about 45 minutes before we went on.
Just to shorten my really long thinking process here. Yes, Bond makes the cut. At least top 5, if not number 1. Star Trek would be in there, but I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. So definitely Bond though.
The last one that I have is coming out of the water scenes. Because obviously one of the most iconic shots in this movie is, and we talked about earlier, Daniel Craig coming out of the water, just looking absolutely like just fucking yoked to the gills. And it's not like super ripped, but like this dude's in fucking great shape.
Yeah.
And like I said, there was a lady in the crowd and obviously liked what she was seeing. So coming out of the water sequences. Now this could be
Fast Times at Ridgemont High takes the cake.
Yes.
That's number 1. This one's probably in there though.
Okay. Do you have any others?
Coming out of the water. This is just the nerd in me. I kind of want to just say what I thought right off the top of my head. My thinking process. All right. I thought coming out of the water, immediately went to Lord of the Rings, The Watcher in the Water. Does not fit this category at all. But man, that was a reveal. Let's see. Actually, speaking of monsters coming out of the water, Godzilla in any of the recent Godzilla movies coming out of the water, friggin' awesome scenes. I'm going off on a tangent now, though. I'm not thinking of people coming out of the water anymore. Yeah, no, it. I don't have any others. I think this Fast Times. Let's see. Can't think of anything else.
Okay.
How about you?
I had the Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool. Obviously, number 1. That's not even close. I had the first appearance of Jaws.
Okay. See, you did monsters too. It's fine.
Yeah. And that was perfectly acceptable. I had Captain Willard in Apocalypse Now, a very iconic scene where he's coming up from the water when he's getting ready to
that would be
complete
in
his
one of
mission.
mine.
I had Ursula Anders. I forget the character's name off the top of my head, but from Doctor No.
Oh, okay.
She comes out of the water. That's probably the most iconic in the Bond franchise. And I couldn't really come up with a fifth, so I guess I'll give it to this. Now, I'm sure, like, as soon as I'll go to bed, and it happens every time we do an episode, and I draw a blank, or, we give out, like, our top 5, used to be the Hall of Fame, whatever. I'll lay in bed, and, like, I'll get fucking woken up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like, fuck, that would have been a better one.
Yeah.
Happens to me every
always
time.
happens.
So, but yeah, those would be mine. So I guess because I couldn't come up with a fifth, we'll give it to Daniel Craig, even though I think my 4 are pretty damn good.
Yeah. I agree.
So yeah, and then like I said, I'll be woken up in the middle of the night tonight. Like, fuck, I should have said that one too.
Yeah. Since you had Jaws on yours, I'm gonna legitimately put The Watcher in the water and Godzilla on mine.
Okay.
Just to have a couple extras.
I was just looking it up real quick on Google. They have the scene when Wolverine comes out of the water when he's fully been enveloped in the adamantium in the X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's top 5, but that was a good one too.
No.
But yeah. Unfortunately, with Google, most of them are like, it's just top 5 hottest women coming out of like the pool shots in movie history. And I'm like, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I'm not that big of a fucking horn dog, man. Like,
right.
Google, chill. But yeah, those are the ones
gave top spot to the Fast Times. Like, we don't need any other ones.
Yeah, like the first one's like Denise Richards and Wild Things. That is a good one. But yeah. And we've already got the now. If Mark Dyer were on this show, that's all he would have had to like. Well, you have you have Demi Moore and Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle. That one gave me a little bit of a chub. You've got. Our old friend of the show, or my old friend Jeff, who used to go to movies with me all the time. That was our thing on the weekends. That would sometimes be his criteria for seeing a movie. He would always ask me if the lead actress gets naked in it.
And then if the answer was no, he's like, no, I'm not seeing it.
Not always, but like,
okay.
They could say, like, take for example, like we went and seen like Andre, that movie about that adorable seal. Like, no, it's like, Jeff, it's a fucking PG movie with a 10-year-old kid who befriends a seal. There's not gonna be fucking any nudity in this.
Well, to be fair, Andre gets out of the water nude.
Oh yeah, there we go. Free Willy when he like jumps out of the water. There we go.
Yeah.
Or Star Trek 4 when that humpback whale that they need to save humanity. See, now we're on a roll. All right, last category, the Brotato score. What would your score for Casino Royale be?
This one, I think, earns the same score that I gave GoldenEye. It's not a perfect movie. It's not the best Bond movie, but it deserves a solid 4 out of 5. Okay.
I gave it a 4.5. Like I said, I think this is upper echelon Bond. And I mean, I think out of the Craig movies, I prefer Skyfall, but this one's a very close second for me. And I think that this is a very strong contender for like one of the best in the franchise. So I'm giving it a 4.5.
Okay.
But,
just split the difference and give it a 4.25.
Yeah. If this were Star Search, Ed McMahon's Star Search, and man, like, I really wish people that listen to the show, like, just knew that show. Cause like, I would I would love to do an Ed McMahon bit, but no one's going to fucking get it.
No,
that's under the age of 40. But, All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week, guys and gals. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, we are going to come at you with a new episode later this week, too. Should we tell them what it is?
Yeah, then let's go ahead and tell them what it is.
All right, we're doing a James Bond draft. I know I got a lot of positive feedback on our Oscar Best Pictures draft that we did, and we're bringing the same crew back. Mark and Steven are coming back and joining us. We're going to do a James Bond draft. We're going to draft our favorite James Bond performer. We're going to do villains, Bond girls, theme songs, and I think we've got a wild card category or two. We haven't hammered out. We haven't set in stone all the categories, but I think it's going to be a fun episode. So that's going to come.
I do too. Yeah.
Probably Friday night. That seems to be, I haven't heard back for certain yet whether that's confirmed by all parties involved, but it looks like we'll probably drop that Friday night. So be sure to hit the follow, subscribe button wherever you're listening to this episode so you don't miss that one. So feel free to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast if you dug what you heard here on the show. You can also do it on Spotify. They have that little link where you can give us a 5-star rating if you dug what you heard here today. You want to get a hold of the show, you want to find out what's going on when new episodes are coming out, be sure to hit the preferred social media platform of choice. We got all those links in the show description below. So yeah, hit us up, give us a follow there. That way you can keep it up on all the latest Couch Brotato news. And hopefully this is the beginning of a nice run of episodes coming out weekly. I've got my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So Adam,
Me too.
Adam, don't go like getting a evening shift job. And I'm just going to hope that I don't like have a coronary or have a stroke. So until next week, guys, or actually, no, until Friday. We will talk to you guys and gals later.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.